Welcome, my dear students of class 9A and 9B to my history class. Today's chapter is the Delhi Sultanate. Already I started teaching. The points which I have mentioned, please look at it. Monuments, architecture, rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, founder, ruler, religious centers. First, monuments. You know, the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate constructed a number of monuments, magnificent buildings, palaces of great style and architecture. They realized that they were foreign rulers, had established their reign in India. That's why they must increase their image, acceptability in India so that they could rule successfully and can gain popularity from their countrymen. It is due to that reason they constructed a number of monuments. You know, the Quaitul Islam Mosque of Qutubuddin Aibak, the Alai Darwaja of Alai Darwaja of Alauddin Khilji, the tomb of Ghiasuddin Tughlaq, numerous mosques which were constructed by the rulers under Delhi Sultanate. It increased their images, their acceptability. Really, they all became acceptable rulers of India. They not only constructed monuments, but also they constructed many gardens, public health centers, houses. Firoz Shah Tughlaq constructed a number of dams, bridges. He also dug wells in order to supply waters to the agricultural fields so that peasants and farmers could cultivate quality crops. He provided quality seeds of different crops. As a result, he also was able to gain popularity as a ruler under Delhi Sultanate. One of the most significant, archaeological sources constructed by the Turks was, completed by Iltutmish in the year 1230 CE. In the 13th century was the Qutub Minar in Mehroli, one of the magnificent monuments constructed by Iltutmish in the midst of the Delhi. It is in Mehroli in South Delhi. Mehroli in South Delhi, not midst. Mehroli in South Delhi. This Qutub Minar was constructed by Iltutmish. Construction of Qutub Minar, there is a history behind the construction of that very Minar, Qutub Minar. Now, what is the history? Qutub Minar was actually constructed, or construction work was started by Qutubuddin Aibak, the founder ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Now, why did he construct it? In order to commemorate the image of Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, a great religious leader on whom Qutubuddin Aibak had great respect. He respected him a lot. After the death of Qutubuddin Kaki, to gain popularity from the countrymen during that contemporary age, Qutubuddin Aibak himself also was attracted by him, and after his death, Qutbuddin Aibak laid down the foundation of Qutub Minar. Now question is, why was it named Qutub Minar? Was it named after the name of Qutbuddin Aibak? Not really so. Why? Because Qutub Minar, when the Qutub Minar construction work was started by Qutbuddin Aibak, he named it Qutub Minar. Not for, making him a very popular ruler of Delhi Sultanate, but he wanted to embrace the image of that very religious leader who sacrificed his life for the upliftment of religious practices and religion. Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. In order to commemorate the image of Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, Qutbuddin Aibak constructed Qutub Minar and named it after his name, Qutub Minar. Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki was a name. The Qutub Minar was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak. But after a few days later or few months later, Qutbuddin Aibak died while playing polo. And then Qutbuddin Aibak, when he fell down from his horse, the horse was running so fast. No doctor was there to get him alive. Ultimately, Qutbuddin Aibak died. So this is the history of Qutbuddin Aibak, the founder ruler of, Delhi Sultanate. After his death, his son-in-law Iltutmish became the ruler of Delhi Sultanate, because Qutbuddin's sons were not as talented as his son-in-law Iltutmish. As a result, Iltutmish became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Iltutmish completed the remaining part of construction of the Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar, which was there, Qutub Minar was the incomplete works of Qutub Minar was constructed by whom? Constructed by Iltutmish. The pending works of his father-in-law was constructed by his son-in-law Iltutmish. Also, there was a story behind it. Iltutmish did not allow any son of him to be the ruler of Delhi Sultanate. Why? Because they were not as intelligent as he was himself. That's why he suggested the name of his daughter, Rajia Sultana. So Rajia Sultana became the next ruler of the Delhi Sultanate after the death of his father, after the death of her father. So after the death of Iltutmish, Rajia Sultana became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. But the nobles did not allow Razia Sultana to be the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Why? Because she was a female ruler. And the contemporary society, the conservative contemporary society, antagonist his appointment as the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. But Razia was the daughter of Iltutmish. So majority must be granted. They were many in numbers. Naturally, a group of people who were trying to make it stop the process of appointing her to be the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate could not do anything, and Razia Sultana became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. It was a short story, it was a history behind it. Now, what are the characteristic features of the great monument Qutub Minar? There are some characteristic features of the Minar, Qutub Minar. The circular tower of the Minar that rises to a height of about 72.5 meters. It was dedicated to the Sufi saint Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki by whom? By Qutubuddin Aibak, the founder ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. It was actually during that time 4 stories. The last story was damaged by lightning, and it was reconstructed into 2 stories by Firuz Shah Tughlaq later. It was obviously not constructed for the Muzarai to give the call for prayer as his voice, but it was constructed to observe the activities of the enemies from the top floor. The entrance to the tower to through doorway on the northern side, and inside the tower there are 379 stairs which lead to top. The Minar is divided, the Qutub Minar is divided by several decorative bonds or bonds of Quranic verses, balconies supported by characteristic Islamic decoration and calligraphy. The Minar has numerous inscriptions in Arabic and Nagari characters which narrate the history of Islam. Red sandstone marble were used while constructing, and grey quartz also was used to construct the tower. It is the tallest stone tower in India till today. Till today it is a tallest stone tower in India till today. So this is about monuments and rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, Qutub Minar, Khaja Bakhtiyar Kaki, Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, and characteristic features of different monuments, its architecture I discussed. Now you have to learn it so that you can attempt short questions properly and correctly. Up to this, my dear students, thank you very much.